going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we're going to be reviewing Port Adelaide's Round 6 clash against St Kilda in what was a very, very clinical performance at the Adelaide Oval on ANZAC Day. Pretty special night, 33,000 people, and as I said, it was a clinical performance with some outstanding performance throughout the night, and it just, from the beginning was pretty much a training drill really. There was no real pressure or any sign of St Kilda really giving us a heavy fight, so we did the job by 54 points, and now we go forward 5-1, sitting third on the ladder, a game clear from fourth and the rest. So we're in a positive position, but let's review the game and see who the standouts were and what needs to be improved for next week. A lot to like from last night against St Kilda. It was a very interesting game of football. I'd never really took too much notice of it. I firmly believed that we were going to get the job done from the outset, and I really thought that overall it was going to be that type of performance. We were still pretty much a little bit walking wounded, saw a few sore bodies, the likes of Hamish Hartley coming off a massive corky, Dan Houston looking a bit sore, and just a couple of other players just maybe carrying some light niggles throughout. And you could tell from the outset that we were a bit slow to start off with, but overall I think we built into the game nicely, and it seems to be those second and third quarters that we really do dominate sides and put them to the sword and keep them at bay. We haven't been the type of side to finish off teams and really go out and blow out the game by 80-90 points, which has been a little bit of a concern. Probably in a few people's eyes, including mine. I would like to see that 80-90 point win on some occasions, but overall, if you're ticking the boxes and just keep pushing forward week in, week out and getting that 4 points, does it really matter that we're getting 50-60 point wins? I think out of the performance that we put in for 2 quarters of football, we were bloody brilliant. I thought the second and third quarter our pressure was immense. The forward half pressure was even better from our forwards, and we were just taking opportunities when we needed to, and a pretty solid midfield performance as well. We had over 400 possessions in a game of football, which sets the tone that we're basically playing with St Kilda throughout the night, and a lot of uncontested possessions. Our tackling was pretty good in the middle. Willem Drew topped the tackling with 8 on the night, and down back we were able to solidify any sort of attack St Kilda brought to the game. And Alir, sensational again down back, chopping off everything. I thought Tom Jonas was our best on in terms of a defender, probably equal with Ollie Wines as well, who was the Peter Badgo medalist for the night, and I'll get to him in a minute. But Tom Jonas' performance across the night to get 25 possessions as a defender, a key defender as well, really showcases that we have a good spread of people that can stand up when it matters, and whether it's Tom Cleary one-on-one with King or Alir as the attacking defender, and whether it is Tom Jonas as that attacking defender, and if he's able to get 25 possessions, and he had so many intercept marks on Sunday night and was really able to cut off any sort of St Kilda attack, and his spalling around the ground as well was second to none. And I just think that those 3 in tangent will just keep building throughout the year, and it's something that you combine that with Ryan Burton, who's having a career best season. I think he's been sensational with his attack. His kicking's been elite. His defensive work's awesome. One-on-one work's been brilliant, and I think that's the main thing, is we're having players that haven't had that best season yet, that they're building into that, and Ryan Burton is one. Carl Amon is another. 34 touches on the night is absolutely sensational. He had 26 at half-time, and he just showed, for me, Carl Amon's been one of those people, I've always persisted with him, always been a positive outlook on him. I've always thought that he's been one to live up to potential when he got the opportunity. And early on he did test a few people's patience, and a lot of people were saying he was a spud. Delist him, get rid of him, he's not good enough. And he kept getting opportunities, kept coming back into the side. And when he started to get some good form, he'd get an injury, or he'd play one bad game and everyone write him off again. It's just the mindset that you have as a footballer is something, if you keep working at it, you're going to get there. You're going to keep being persistent. You're going to have that moment where it just clicks. And at the moment, he's had 2 or 3 seasons now where it's been clicking for him. And the confidence he has on the field to take the game on, hit that pressure kick, or take that player on. And he did that multiple times last night against Brad Hill, and he was just like a roaming halfback flanker. And he's playing on the wing, and probably at the moment he's all Australian wingman for me. That's personally what I think, and that's both biasness and also looking at the statistics, he's had one of the best months of football out of anyone in the AFL at the moment. He's just been so underrated as a footballer, written off, and I just love the story that he's had, from his childhood all the way to now. Karl Amon has been absolutely sensational, and I tip my hat to him because to see that from a player develop so quickly in the last couple of years, I'm so impressed and I'm so happy because that, for me, fulfills the faith that I have in a player. As a supporter, when you have faith in a certain player and other people are writing him off and he starts to prove other people wrong, that just puts a smile on my face. That is sensational. So credit to Karl Amon. He's been unreal, and it's really great to see, really positive to see. And that moves me into Ollie Wines as well. And a lot of people still have doubts about Ollie Wines, and he's had one of the best seasons out of anyone. We've been focusing on Boak, and including myself, I focus on Boak all the time. There's Boak moments everywhere. Last night Boak had plenty of moments, and I'll get to them, trust me. Ollie Wines has had one of those seasons where we focus on the Boaks, we focus on the Aliali and the Orazio Fantasia, the new inclusions, and just the Zach Butters were taking all the spotlight, and Ollie Wines was just, even he was going under the radar a bit, and to have 36 touches last night, win the Peter Badko medal, his game's gone to another level, and for me, when he is attacking and running, Ollie Wines is a totally different player. His dynamic changes completely. He's not just an inside mid. I love the way he runs and carries the ball. His kicking has improved so much. There was a couple of moments in the third quarter he was just running flat out, and he got hit in the middle, and he took the hit, and he got back up. He was obviously a bit winded, but he got back up and he kept going, and he took the next hit. And there was one hit, I think it was in the second quarter or the first quarter, he just charged through there, Rowan Marshall, and left him for dead. That is what we want from Ollie Wines. That body. Use that big freaking thunder thighs that he's got. Use those massive pecs and those massive arms and that mega box head that he's got, and just charge through a bloke. When he's doing that and full of confidence like he is right now, there is no more damaging footballer. I'm telling you now, Ollie Wines is ferocious, and it's so good to see that he is able to take that game to another level, and it's been super impressive. And it's just great to see, even in these types of games, you expect to win. And it's going to be one of those performances where by the end of the game, you're so bored because that last 10 minutes of football was dragging. I'm telling you, even I was there, maybe I'll just go home. I obviously didn't go home, but it was just dragging. You just don't want to be there anymore because it's just lackluster. You just want the game to be over. And look, I'll put my hand up and say, it was the most boring 10 minutes of football I've seen, I think, this year. That last 10 minutes. And that's nobody's fault. Both teams are tired, and St Kilda are playing a boring game of football. And how bad have they gotten? I'm sorry, Saints fans, but there is something going on down there that I think needs to be addressed. And I'm concerned because I had high hopes for St Kilda this year, and they had a lot of great talent and a lot of players that they brought in. Brad Crouch is one in particular. To combine that with the likes of Dan Butler, Paddy Ryder, all these players that had so much potential after last year's good season, to come out and be 6 rounds in and basically nowhere is a concern for them. And I'm not bagging them in any way because I know they'll find a way, and they've got some good talent and some positivity to look forward to. So I hope they find that, but it's a big concern for them. And as I said, the last 10 minutes of football was just boring. But to have these types of games, the point is to have these types of games where you go in with an expectation to win, you come out with a pretty solid win, and you just look straight into next week. There's nothing too much to take away. You look at the smaller moments, and I think the smaller moments that brighten up someone's season, like I've said, Karl Amon, Ryan Burton, Ollie Wines having career best years, these games showcase that, and they build a case for it, and that's what makes it so impressive. And another one was Hamish Hartlett. Now, just before I get into overall summary of this game, is Hamish Hartlett's had a pretty interesting first 5 games. To come out and have 26 touches, probably play his best game of the year for himself, that's massive for his confidence going forward. And you just look at these little moments and they build confidence in individuals. It almost becomes an individual game to look at because you have bad games, you'll have good games, and it'll be these types of games that sets your season apart from the rest. And you build a case for it, and Hamish Hartlett has definitely now said, look, I'm here now. I've gotten over the corky. I've had my funny moments. I'm going to be the vice captain I am and take this club to the next step. And that next step is the Gabba, because we take it 1 week at a time. And there's so many more points you could focus on from this game. And I think a lot of people have written about them and really taken consideration to others. But these were the certain moments that stood out for me. And I'm grateful and happy that we got the job done on such a special day in ANZAC Day, because it's my favourite round of the year. So good to attend. 33,000 people. The atmosphere was electric, and I really feel like our season is now building 5-1. We've almost become underrated a bit again. We're a classy side. We're full of confidence. We're going about our business. No one's really taking too much notice. I mean, a few people are still saying we're probably up there as premiership favourites, but the Dogs and D's are taking the spotlight a bit, and we're just sitting there third, just waiting for one of them to fall and just pounce. And I look forward to that opportunity. And it comes next week against Brisbane at the Gabba. Probably my worst fear. I hate playing Brisbane at the Gabba. It's like almost you put that down as a loss. That's just how I feel taking into that mentality of the game when we play Brisbane up there. And if we win up there at the Gabba, then coming back for the showdown and the next month of footballs after that is just an important going into the bye in a few weeks' time. So one step at a time. But it's very good to get the 4 points against St Kilda. 54-point win. Solid, professional, clinical. And any of those types of words you see in the thesaurus, you can write that one down. That's it. That is my review of round 6. Port Adelaide versus St Kilda. ANZAC round. Another beautiful, special round done and dusted. I look forward to seeing us play Brisbane Saturday night at the Gabba. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about round 6. And who was a standout for you and on the night, because it was a pretty spread out performance by a lot of the boys. So let me know in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content coming your way across this very hectic season that is starting to build in something pretty special. My name is Anthony. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, go on the pair.